Hi, I'm Nancy Chanteau, and today I'm going to read to you from the March 2023 Patreon post called Self-Regulation, Intensity Practices and Interventions. When we're dealing with stress, agitation, apathy, disconnection, and disinterest, many of us tend to seek soothing, distracting, or numbing interventions. We want to avoid feeling what we're feeling. Too much distancing from our sensations or emotions might instead reinforce the experience we're having, so that we seem to need more and more soothing. In many cases, instead of avoiding our feelings, we're better off increasing our connection to our body's sensations, feelings, and emotions. Once these experiences begin to flow through us, it might become easier to release extra energy and inhabit a calm, centered, grounded state. Intense experiences tend to create more flow. And because traumatic memories are often stored because they are intense, soothing interventions might not support the body to release the protective holding pattern around the trauma. In fact, we might need to meet the intensity of the memory with an intense intervention. Here's some contraindications. If your experience of anxiety or agitation increases with the intense intervention, you can stop at any time. Or if you're a practitioner, invite your client to stop the practice. Intensity can be created many ways, and one size does not fit all. The exploration of what works for you is a personal and self-guided process. Your internal authority comes first, no matter what a practitioner instructs you to do. People with obsessive tendencies might become attached to intensity. Notice if this is happening and perhaps build capacity to feel smaller, lighter, and less intense sensations as well. When intensity doesn't work, often in bodywork, clients will report they can't feel a light touch or want intense contact. If release is happening with the intensity, great. If not, perhaps the client has embodied non-responsiveness and a kind of uninhabited numbness, and longer, non-invasive, and gentle holding might help them let go and relax more effectively. Self-guided or find a practitioner. Use the table that follows of intense practices and interventions as an exploratory guide. Through experimentation and observation, you might find that you respond better to intensity than to soothing. Some of these interventions require training and expertise. When necessary, find a practitioner who understands how to create safety for you. In closing, these documents are living, growing resources. If you discover an intense intervention that really worked for you, I'd love to know about it, and with your permission, add it to the list. And the references for this Patreon post, In an Unspoken Voice, How the Body Releases Trauma and Restores Goodness by Peter Levine, and Mind Wide Open, Your Brain and the Neuroscience of Everyday Life by Stephen Johnson. All right, let's do the list. And I'm just going to read these. They're all kinds of variants on intensity practices that you could try. Jumping jacks, jumping rope, weightlifting, breath work, running, laughing hard, impact play, sparring, strong scent or essential oils, strong flavors or spices, intense music, weighted blanket, hot or cold compress, scrubbing a floor, wiffle bat on sofa cushions, blending with a contraction, someone lays on top of you, wailing or sobbing, push-ups or pull-ups, dancing hard, standing rolls. This is from something like Aikido or a martial art. Flogging, mud bath, dig a hole, shibari, rope or restraints, shouting or crying in a car, soaking in a hot pool, riding a bike uphill, acupuncture or dry needling, holding your breath, deep tissue bodywork, hang upside down, Rolfing, drumming, squats or burpees, singing along, neck wrestling, Jo or sword kata, folk dancing, EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping, hot or cold liquids, ice or a cold plunge, yoga, yin yoga, holding a pose, boxing, kickboxing, or Thai boxing, improv exercises, bungee jumping, jumping out of a plane, skiing or snowboarding, abdominal exercises, Gardening, curling around a fist. This is something from Qigong. Shaking or rocking. Mosh pits, trampolines, foam roller or massage tools, tantrum or venting. Break something safely. Kneading dough, pruning or weed whacking, being buried in sand, singing in a choir, intense bass vibrations, and protect your hearing, screaming underwater, releasing bubbles, milking goats or cows, snapping a rubber band on your wrist, doing lots of reps of something, moving very slowly. Qigong or Tai Chi are examples of this. Swaddling, getting cocooned in blankets, galloping or cantering a horse, pacing or stomping, building a fire, kink, pain, or edge play, squeezing a stress ball, standing in or next to a waterfall, hot or cold showers, playing amplified music, again, protect your hearing, folks, and get a tattoo, self-hypnosis, sound bath, plant medicines, or you could try eating wasabi or horseradish. I hope this list has been helpful to you. If you have suggestions for things that could be added to the list, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll keep growing the list as it comes along. I'll also put a link to the Patreon post in the comments so you can get an access to the updated list. Have a great night.